Okay, so we're gonna go with the Gucci piano. For me, I just like to castle right away. We don't want problems, right? So here, I'm going to defend my pawn there. My opponent also castles. So here, I'm just going to do this pose. My opponent is going to play this, and I'm going to do this. Yes. So everything is symmetrical, right, as of now. But here, I'm going to play the move bishop to e3. What I want is I want to challenge this bishop right there. And my opponent said, no, 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 no. We are not going to do that. But it's actually okay because now we're going to play the move queen here. So once you're done with your development, what you need, right? Please bear with me. What you need is to make sure that all your pieces are working together. Right. So we castle the minor pieces are ready and the rooks are connected. My opponent, he played this move, so he played the rook twice. But remember, he castled and then he played it here. Saying so now we are just going to attack the king right away. We are not going to waste time. So the king is alone as of now, as you can see. The king is crying, help, 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 help. Who is going to help the king now? So as we actually safe, we took 2 pawns just for one bishop, right? So what we need, we can bring the rook here, but it's going to take time. We can play a move like this, but we can't because the queen and the knight are actually protecting that square. So what do we need? We are going to bring in the other knight, right? So this knight is actually not doing much, but what I want is this knight, at least it must have control over these two squares right there. As you notice that my opponent, he could have brought his queen right there so that he can exchange because he's up a piece. But look at his king. His king is crying right now. He's calling for help. Help, 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 help. But who is going to help my opponent? Okay, so it looks like he wants this trade, right? But it's actually not a problem because we can actually give him. It's not a big deal. I mean, why not? We must be generous, right? Okay, so here I need a move like this and a move like this, right? We're going to do maneuvering. So I'm going to play my knight right here to the edge of the board. Yes, knight in the rim is dim, but now my knight can come in. So now let's calculate. If I come here, right, what is my opponent going to do? What's his best shot? And yes, as I said before, that my opponent is actually just going to offer me an exchange right there. So I'm just going to do this. It's okay. I mean, it's not bad, right? So now my opponent is offering me an exchange. Should I take it or should I not take it? And you guessed right, I don't have to take it because his king is very exposed, right? I can simply just maybe come here or go all the way back, but I don't like to go all the way back. So in this case, I'm just going to come here right here to act as if like I forgot about it, right? And now I'm just going to play this move. And this bishop is kind of annoying for now. Not really, but just for now. So my opponent wants to trade again another piece. I mean, he can trade. Don't have a problem with that. But the thing is, because my rooks are connected, right? What I need is I need to use them. How am I going to use my rooks now? That's the big question, right? So also this bishop, it was doing much, but because my opponent wants to take advantage somewhere there, so I'm just going to slide my bishop right here. And yes, I'm not going to take this piece. You might say, why are you not taking this a free piece? But it's actually not a free piece because I don't like to reroute like this direction. Of course, it will be good for me just to have that free pawn. But what is that free pawn going to help me with? Like, I would rather keep the tension right here, which is still fine for me. So now my opponent probably wants to have a pawn break right there. So now I want a move like this, but because this guy is still here, it's a bit annoying. So I'm just going to play the move a4. I think I'm expecting this move from my opponent at some point. Okay, so now he's actually want another exchange. So as you know, I'm not going to do an exchange. I'm just going to plant my knight here. At least my knight is controlling these two squares for now. It's actually dominating, if you ask me. my knight is actually dominating, which is why I said that we don't have to trade. So in order for you to win Italian game, right, you just have to keep it simple. Look, my rooks are connected. Also, my opponent's rooks, yes, they are connected. But are my opponent's pieces making progress? They are not making progress. It's my pieces that are making progress. And I use the advantage that we had from the opening. So I sacrifice the bishop. Remember that, to open up my opponent's king. Look at this king. This king is not safe. There are no 2 pawns right here. There are no 2 pawns. And me, I do have everything. And now I can even play a move like this. So here my opponent, he can also play a move like this, by the way, but of which I'm just going maybe just to slide back just a little bit, not too much, but just for a while, so that I would really want to see what my opponent is actually trying to do. Okay, so you went back all the way. So here, this piece is actually for free, because if I give him a check, right, then he comes somewhere there. I mean, it's a good move. I'm not going to lie. Let's just go with it. Let's go with the check, because I'm just down a pawn. We can actually try to eliminate this pawn, and my opponent's king will be very, very, very exposed, which is something that most people, they won't handle, right? So here I can take with this guy, or I can take with the bishop. So now we just have to think which piece is actually doing the most, right? So as for me, I would really want to take with the knight. Why the knight? Because my opponent can still come here. Remember that. And yes, I can give a check, but then I'll be hanging a knight. So I'm going to take with the knight, not the bishop. I would really love to take with the bishop, because I'll be putting pressure right there, but it's actually not helping me in any way. I hope you are kind of getting the sense that it's not helping me in any way. So I'm just going to take with the knight. As you can see that my opponent, he doesn't have any pawns to guard his king, right? Which is something that most people, we won't handle that pressure. And yes, he can still play this move. I am aware of that. Because in that case, I'll just come back, and then if he does the play move like this, it's actually okay. So my opponent, he played this move, but he played it with the queen. So how are we going to punish him? And of course, we can't give a check. Like I said, my opponent, what he's just focusing on, he's just focusing on trading queens, and of which me, I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to create a threat. Here I'm threatening a rook, and here my opponent is doing nothing. You can't just go to the battle with just one piece. You need the whole army. Just look at my army. My army is working, is putting pressure to my opponent's king. So if my opponent is not careful, I mean, he is going to lose on the spot. That's the truth. So now he has to do something, and yeah, I mean, I'm still putting pressure, right? You don't have enough pawns to protect your king, and I can take that rook. I mean, just because I'm down in material, I can take it, but I can also play a move like this, which in this case, I'm going to play a move like this. I'm not going to take this, because if I take, he was going to take with the bishop, and he was going to activate his bishop. So when you find a good move, actually try to look for a better move. So now this piece is still under attack, by the way. So just took the free knight, and I mean, just GG's. You see, because my opponent doesn't have those pawns, that's how we managed to win with the Italian. That's how to crush e4, e5. GG's.